How's it going, everybody? Oh, where's my screen? There it is. Woo-wee! How's it going? Man, so sorry. So sorry I'm late, and I'm going to have to take probably a break in the middle, and we got some company coming for just a minute. I don't know if I'll stop and then start again or what exactly that will do, but anyways, sorry. All right, Raspy, thanks for subscribing for 9 months. Wow. Wowzers. Mr. Fixers was first. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hey, Chris, Corey. Stove Doctor, how you doing? Sir Goodenough's here. Fantastic. Capital Holdings. Oh, nice. All right. Thomas and Christian and Jeff and David. And Dan says, are we going to talk hacks? Is that who said that? Wait, no, just scrolled by too fast. So yeah. Hey, Frank, how's it going? I didn't read the notes, but yeah, I want to hear about that. I am updating everything. And now I guess there was a second notice that said update, right? Security bulletin. I didn't read about it. So what happened? Update your Home Assistant as soon as possible. Strongly advise you disable all custom integrations. What happened? They remove supervisor preload instructions. Hey, how's it going? Simru watching from Wales. Currently investigating the scope of the issue. Oh, we'll follow up with more details. Meanwhile, update Home Assistant. There you go. So it looks like there's still maybe not a bunch of information, or maybe Frank is here. He can tell us. But anyways, yeah, something up with hacks. Hacked is hacks. If you are on 21.1.3 or newer, you are good. I thought I already updated that. How's it going, everybody? Once again, updated 54 Tasmota devices from 5.19 to 9.2. Good job, Dale. How long did that take you? Very curious. Very curious about how long that took you. Oh my gosh, we have a major problem. My Dr. Pepper's downstairs. No. Hey, Victor. How's it going? Oh man. So hey, let's do a few things. I don't know how much time I'm going to have today. I'll be on for at least an hour, and then we'll see. 2 days. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Oh, Comrie. Comrie, of course it is. Comrie. Of course it's pronounced Comrie. How did I not know that? So here we are again, Barry says. That's right. So, what was I going to say? Oh. So we could talk about a few things. Broadcast for a kid to bring it to... All right. Hey, can somebody bring me my Dr. Pepper? I left it downstairs. Hey, can somebody bring me my Dr. Pepper? I left it downstairs. All right, and Frank says, so everybody, update. Really, it is important for real. More details will follow. Cannot comment on any speculations. All I can say is get updated, really. So there you go. Update is for real. The updation. So let's update right now. I think I already did, but let's update. Let's make sure. Okay, so as long as you're 21.1.3 or newer, you're good, but I'm going to update to 0.4 anyways. I'm no longer scared of updates at all. Oh, Holly wins the prize for the best daughter of the day. Mwah.
Tiredest.
Go take a nap. That's what I want to do. All right. Ooh, Stove Doctor says, is anybody else's Alexa sensors not available? Next timer, updates, etc. We can look and see. I guess I can be here and I can go E, right? Can't I go E? Yep. And then I can go media player. Hi, baby.
Hi.
I guess I can go bedtime reminder. Next. Yeah, next timer sensors. It says unavailable right now, actually. Oh. Grace needs some more time. She needs some more space time, whatever this is. All right, that's enough. More Roblox time. Okay. All right, so I do have a couple things to, like, on the agenda to talk about today. Did you see on the title? One of them was my wired alarm. I've had a lot of people asking me about what I'm going to do without the connected device for alarm. So we can talk about that. It shouldn't be too hard to get through. And what was the other one? Oh, and I've got these plugs I was going to try with the BroadLink because I know specifically that Paul Hibbert uses these plugs. So I actually bought some plugs. Whoa. I actually bought some plugs for, I guess that doesn't even matter anymore. Actually bought some plugs specifically for, just change this. There you go. All right. Oh, nope. Doing great today. Everything's going my way. Can't wait to get more HomePod minis. Oh, really? What's a HomePod minis? Is that a Apple thing? Squirrels, everywhere squirrels. I don't have ducks or a row. I got squirrels and they're everywhere. Everybody's okay today? Hey, Dynamite. I think everybody's doing pretty good. Distracted much? You know, just a touch. Did Paul already reply on the previous stream? I haven't gone. He's a Twitter communicator, and I haven't been to Twitter in a while, so. It's too scared to update Home Assistant OS to 5.10. Broke my complete Home Assistant install. I had to reinstall everything. Oh, no. I didn't know you streamed. UTP216, you didn't know? I do. Surprise. As usual, I'm distracted. Oh, it's bad. It's bad today. Anyways, I know Paul Hibbert uses these, so I thought I would get some just to specifically try and get the BroadLink to learn them. We can go through that little process. So anyways, let's go back with, let's go to this. This is my Arduino Mega, and it's got this Ethernet board on top. Okay. That's what I've decided to go with for this alarm system. The alarm system setup. And there's a few different Ethernet boards you can get. I assume that part number there is what you would need to know. Oops, upside down. That part number there is what you would need to know. Okay. It's that plus the Arduino Mega. And then this sketch over here. This is the sketch that you would need. And I can post this somewhere. This is the sketch actually that Hookup Rob made for me a long time ago. And I didn't do much with it for a while. And then I had to tinker with it to get it to work, but finally did. Yes, and there are also ESP32s with Ethernet, and I have several of them, and I'm going to be working on them. I'm going to do some ESP home stuff with them. Here's one that a new one that I just got. It's another one. This is an ESP32 with Ethernet. Brand new, different brand, I think. Let's see, which one is this one? Oh, this is the Lily Go. So this is the Lily Go one. So now I have 3 actually. So I have 3 of these. I have the Lily Go. This is that one. Lily Go. And I've got this one, which is made by somebody else. Modtronics. This is also ESP32 and Ethernet. Oh my gosh. And then there's this other one, Olimex. Olimex makes a few of these. So this is one of the Olimex ones. And even though, don't be fooled that it has this antenna, it still can have Ethernet. And then this big one, which is also Olimex, that already comes with a couple of relays. And some of these have things like, this one has an SD card spot. So does this one. Actually, so does that one. And then they've got a few different things. This one has a light and a button. USB-C. This one has USB-C. What is this? Basically says, do not remove this sticker. Put it back. So, yeah, I'm going to play with those eventually, too. But I haven't yet. Out of focus? Oh, sorry. Also PoE. Let's see. Some of them are PoE. This one is. This one is. And you can see that the board is cut. See how the board is cut? That's because they're trying to separate the high voltage, which actually in this case is probably, it would be at least 24 volts that would come in through the Ethernet. And then it gets regulated down. That's probably what this part over here is doing, to 5 volts or whatever the rest of these components need over here. So you can see that one's got the cut in the board. I know this one here is not, well, this one might be PoE. Yeah, this one is PoE. This one is PoE, but it does not, it specifically says that it does not have the same kind of separation. So they don't really do a lot to separate the high voltage from the low voltage on this particular board. I remember because they have a different version of this that costs a few dollars more, where they did the same kind of thing where they kind of, you know, put some holes in the board and made some physical separations. Untidy Tech, we're looking at ESP32 Ethernet boards. I got a variety of them here. And we're looking at these because we started talking about Ethernet solutions, wired smart home solutions. I guess that's what we're looking at, instead of so much Wi-Fi. 48 to 5 or 3.3, yeah. It's a nice ESD sticker. Too bad the sticker glue possibly zapped the device. Oh, you think so? What is ESD? Electrostatic discharge? Is that what it means? Like, don't touch that because it will electrostatically discharge. Out of focus. Yeah, let me just work on that for a minute. If we're going to use this camera today, we're going to need it to be bright. First thing we gotta do is turn off the white balance. I do this every time and it just doesn't ever save. Whatever. Focus is usually good right around 10. And then turn the exposure a little bit and we're good. Now we should have a nice, good picture. Okay. Sweet. But anyways, where did I get these ESP32s? I got most of them. Let's see. I think I got some of them from AliExpress and some of them from DigiKey. Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper. Charge it for just a glue seems too weird in my brain. Oh, you mean, I don't know what that is about. Anyways, let's look at this sketch for a minute. Let's look at this Arduino sketch. It's actually pretty simple. So let's go through here. So these are libraries it uses. Simple Timer, which I don't exactly know why it uses. And then PubSubClient, Ethernet, and SPI. I'm not sure it actually uses SPI, but maybe it does. Anyways. Hey, Tycho! W32 Etho embedded serial port for Ethernet. Ooh, what's that? Is that what I have? Do they have BLE too? I think so. I mean, if they have the ESP chip, they probably do. I don't know. We'd have to look at each one of them and see. Liligo V1.0 XY int et PoE, and then these ESP32 PoE from Olimex, and this one ESP32 EVB from Olimex. Whoa. And then this one is the modtronics.com ESP32 MXE Rev 2. So you guys can look those up and see. Can you update an old manual security system to work remotely? Nick, you can do dang near anything. There's a thread in Homestead Forums. That board doesn't have PoE. I know some of these do and some of these don't have PoE, so How's it going, Ishmate? Thanks for being here. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. It has been a while. Glad you tuned in. All right, so going through this sketch. Going through this. This is for those of you guys that are just showing up. Got here an Arduino Mega with an Ethernet shield on top. And I'm going to use MQTT in this sketch to make it a wired alarm system, but it's also going to control relays that are nearby where I'm going to put this, which is down in my mechanical room. So it will control the relays that control the floor heating and the air conditioning, or one of the air conditioning units. The other air conditioning unit, actually, I could probably have it control that one too. Maybe I should. I'll have to think about that. Anywho, here's what we need. So we're setting up the MQTT server stuff with this part right here. This is the IP address of my new Home Assistant, and the port's always the same for MQTT. This is the username, password for, and this is, remember I got all confused during the last stream, and I didn't understand why in the Home Assistant MQTT component or integration, it was asking you to make a new user for Home Assistant. I didn't understand why. You make that new user, and then that user name and password is what you use here. Or it's what you use for your MQTT clients to connect. Aight? Aight. I bet you could add photochromics. I mean, because it's Arduino like this, I think we could add anything. You could add temperature sensors, you could add motion sensors, you could add IR control stuff. I still have to learn a lot of stuff about Arduino and getting simple things like the IR sending and receiving or whatever to work. I would like to, though. Seems like a lot of eggs in one basket. Yeah, well, I can see what you're saying there. But at the same time, because it's wired and it's really pretty simple, just MQTT, I'm feeling like this is going to be more reliable than having several different Wi-Fi devices controlling the same things. So right now, for my wired alarm system, I have 2 connected control boards, which only gives me I think it gives me 16 zones. Maybe it's only 12 zones. I think it might be only 12 zones. Can't remember how many zones you get on each connected board, but this is going to give me 22. So I'll be able to monitor instead of just right now all I'm monitoring is the lower level stuff, not monitoring any of the upper windows on the upper floor of the house, even though they have wired sensors and those wires go down to the mechanical room. There's nothing on the other end of them. So with this, I'll be able to go up to 22. I could go more, but that's just what I have. 22 door and window sensors that are wired in the house that go all down to this one location. So I'm going to connect those here. And then I also have so that's 2 Wi-Fi devices. And then I have one Wi-Fi device, one it's a D1 Mini that is controlling 7 relays for the heat in the floor. And then another one that is controlling 2 relays for the furnace, which really only needs to be 1, but it's 2 because there's a fan and we don't ever just use the fan. I am lucky to have all the wires in my house. You're right, Rhinus. And that's why I felt like I really needed to use them. And then I'm just trying to decongest the Wi-Fi in my house. So that's what I'm doing. So it is a lot of eggs in one basket. I do agree that, a lot of stuff is relying on this one board, but I think this is pretty reliable and it's going to be wired to the network. So speed shouldn't be, not that Wi-Fi is slow, but this should be much faster. And then, as far as reliability, I mean, unless the power goes out, this isn't going to drop off the network at all. Shouldn't, because it's going to be wired in Ethernet with everything else. So it should be pretty good. I'm actually thinking it'd be pretty good. So anyways, so we connect up this stuff. So the client, so this thing here is going to be called the Mega Alarm Board. And then we've got 2 topics. We've got a one topic that's called MQTT topic. which is giving us the state. So I named it mega state. And then another topic for the commands, which is mega command. And then, let's see this. I don't know whatever that means. It gives it a MAC address. Okay, fine. And then down here, so this is the part where I tell the Arduino Mega which devices are connected to which pins. So the devices that are running relays are going to be these. And these are the pins we're going to use, 42 through 49. And you can see it's heat and main air conditioning. So those are the relays, just defining the pins. And then the sensors, these are going to be the binary sensors for the windows. And so we're going from 22 to 41. And I've got a name for each one. I've got, right now it's like the two basement doors are on one zone, right? And then here I've got the window in the girls' bedroom, which is upstairs, and the bathroom window in the girls' room, which is upstairs. The toy room windows, which are upstairs. Boys' room, office. These are all not currently being monitored at all. And even though maybe nobody's going to break in through those windows, it's nice to know when they're open or closed for, air conditioning and ventilating the rooms and all that kind of stuff. It's nice to know if somebody left the window open and you turned the air conditioning on in the summer, right? So this is just defining which pins each of those is connected to. This looks like something that I took out, so apparently you didn't need it. Had to do maybe with pressing buttons. I don't know what that's about. Then we've got it connecting to, this is where it connects to MQTT. Client connect, name, user, password, great. And then it just tells you that it's connected, great. And then down here, looks like I commented out a bunch of stuff there. Oh, and then this is telling us about, okay, this is important. So this is where we're defining the messages, the payloads, right? Or teens coming home after hours. It ain't so hard to get out on the roof at the girl's window, I can tell you that. I do it all the time. So if I was going to sneak out, it would be pretty easy. Why not use an ESP32 Ethernet board, Mac? The first reason, and the most honest reason, is because I started this project like 2 years ago. and there were no ESP32 Ethernet boards that you could buy back then. But that's why I have these other Ethernet boards, these wired Ethernet ESP32s that I will play with. But this, I really like that the number of pins that this has. But I think this isn't the cheapest thing. I mean, I don't remember what the Mega cost, but my guess is that this whole setup here is $30 or so. Which I guess it's going to be a little more expensive than these ESP32s. I don't know, comparing processors or whatever. I don't know. You still would know, as they are bonkers enough to take the mobile phone with them. That's right, Dynamite. That's right. Life 360. Oh, man. Parental stalking is alive and well. Anyways. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Anyways. All right. So here is where we are basically defining the payload, right? So what are we doing here? Let's see. So what we're doing here is we're telling it that if a message comes in on the, I would think that this would be the command topic. Yeah. Yeah. And this is what messed me up. I had this if the topic is equal to this, and it didn't need to be, apparently, because that messed me up. When I took this out, then things started working. But basically what this first section here is about the relays, right? So if a command topic comes in that says, if the payload is turn on master heat, which is a nice, easy payload, right? Then it will set the master heat to high, and it will print out turning on. And then it will publish to the state topic that the master heat is on. Okay? Makes sense? Then there's an opposite for that. which would turn it off. So if the payload comes in on my command topic, MQTT command, if the payload comes in on my command topic, oh, that's why. Because that, oh, I tried that. It didn't change. Never mind. Anyways, if a command comes in with the payload, turn off master heat, then it will turn the master heat pin low. And it will send a message that says turning off. Should say turning off master heat. Maybe it just says turning off. Turn on. Turn off. Office heat off. Yeah, it should say. No, oh, just master heat off. No, that's right. It's just sending out the message that tells me that it's off. Why do we not use else if? Probably because I don't know how, Joseph. That's why. What is my plan for managing connection of the alarm wires to the Arduino? Good question. I did this with ESPs and it was such a rat's nest. I bought Connected Pro just for the built-in screw terminals. Great question, Brian. So, my thinking is this. I got out a breadboard kind of thing and started playing with screw terminals. And I went down there and looked at it because you're right, it turns into a major rat's nest. What I'm planning to do is just stick the wires in here because the wires down there are the solid wires. They're the small gauge. I don't know what gauge they are. They're probably 20 or 22. They're small gauge wires. Probably not 20, but anyways, they're solid. They're not stranded. They're solid wires. So my thinking was I would crimp on a jumper tip, right? I've got the little device, the little thing that lets you crimp on the jumper tips like that. So I was thinking I would either crimp on jumper tips and then stick them in here, or since those wires are solid, they're solid copper wires. What I've found in other projects is that they slide into these pretty well. Those solid copper wires of that size, I could just stick them in here. Then the other, I'm going to need a big ground terminal. So I may just, make something out of a bunch of screw terminals, or even, I've got a bunch of these kinds of things that are extra and I may just stick those all together. But basically I'm going to need a ground block where a bunch of them all connect to ground, and then I'll take the other wire and stick it in here. It still may end up being quite a rat's nest. So that's a good, I'm not saying that Connected is bad, and now Connected has an Ethernet version as well. This is just what I'm doing more than anything because it can be done, I guess. Extra headers might do the tricks for those connections. I also looked at, there are Arduino Mega expansion, like screw terminal boards. But they were kind of expensive. Screw terminal shield. So there are these kinds of things too, which is not a bad idea. Always translate Dutch. How did I end up with Dutch? The difference is though, I would have to I don't know how this thing is gonna plug in. Oh, it would be from up above. Yeah. So they just send you this, and you got to solder all these things in. So you solder this thing in, and then it goes on top. Right? It goes on top of this, and plugs in here. Part of that's going to be in the way with this. And yeah, you could do a custom PCB, but you could do this. Well, maybe it's not that because that's not terribly expensive, but it's going to take a while. It's going to take till March. I don't want March. Because my location is the Netherlands. It probably is. Somehow. So here's another option. Just another Arduino Mega screw shield. This is for a regular Uno. It's not for the Mega. Yeah, it's the same one. Currently unavailable. Here's a nice looking one. This is for the Uno again, never mind. But so yeah, you can get these that have screw terminals to connect to. Here's one. This one's pretty nice. But again, I can't do this with this Ethernet board on top, right? So links. I mean, I just Googled for them real quick, but I can, I don't think I can make an AliExpress link real quick. Maybe I can. No, not without logging in. So you just get this. We go all the way to, oh my goodness, this one. Oh, not even there. Gosh, there, this one, right there. Copy. I'd probably go with this one or something like it. Anyways, you can find them. Like a big sandwich. With the Ethernet still on top. Oh yeah, you know, you're totally right, Mac. You're totally right. Duh. You put this thing, you put this thing on top of the Mega, and then you put the Ethernet on top of this thing. No, you're totally right. You can get that on Amazon, can you? Let's find it. That's a good point. I didn't realize that. See, that's why you guys are so helpful to me. You guys are awesome. I wanted to say, Arduino Mega screw terminal shield. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's not even any more expensive. $15. Maybe I should buy that. Huh. 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 Don't forget to add pull-up resistors when the contacts on the door are open. Circuit, the input will be floating. You'll get ghost switching. Oh. Oh, you know what? I did that it's in the sketch. Hold on. It's in the sketch. It's in the sketch. Where is it in the sketch? I thought I did that in the sketch. Is it down here? Yeah, it's right here. Yep. Thank you very much. No, that was a great point. Who said that? Ray? Yeah, Ray. Nope, you're right. And we did that right here. So you're right. If you just have an open floating pin, it might have some little bit of voltage show up on it, and you might get it going up back and forth. But here you go. You just do this. So you just basically are telling the pins that you named for each of these devices to have an internal pull-up. And I did the same for the relay ones to have them pulled down as well. Hey, Louis, we are doing Arduino Mega Ethernet MQTT alarm/relay board. The long headers so the pins protrude from the bottom of the Mega. I think I might get this. And then you can, look at that, you can connect stuff underneath too. Anyway, we'll see. Maybe not. Goody. So did we talk about these? We didn't talk about these. This is probably the last thing. So we went through kind of what happens with the relays, right? The on and the off. So it's really, it's all payload dependent. So whatever your MQTT payload is, or whatever the MQTT payload is, that's what tells it what to do. And not just like on or off, but specifically which pin to turn on or off for the relays. So toy room heat on is the payload, and toy room heat off is a different payload. Let's see, it actually starts right there. Turn on toy room heat would be one payload, and then it would send me a message that says toy room heat on, which then Home Assistant can read and turn the switch on. And then with this payload off, same thing. Now down here, the next section is for the sensors. And it's basically just saying, let's see, if they're low, then it's open. And I pulled them up, right? Yep, pull up. So yeah. So if it's broken and they're low, no, that would be, yeah, that's right. No, that would be wrong. That would be backwards. Anyways, let's turn it on. Let's play with it because it does work. So let's turn it on and play with it. Okay. So I can just power this thing up. Oh, I need to have it connected to Ethernet. I'm going to steal the Ethernet from my Pi 400 over here. Oh, no. Let me get a long Ethernet cord. All right. I finished my wired camera project too. Whew, that was a big one. All right, there we go. You could make a custom PCB, you could do a lot of things. I'm trying to do this without, I don't know, doing too much. Check the video on the dark theme for IDE. Ooh. Yeah, it's melting my eyes too. All right, see you, Dynamite. Okay. Now what we can do is can we turn on serial monitor? No, we can't. But what we can do is go to MQTT Explorer. There we go. And connect. And I know you're going to, I have different MQTT brokers. This one's actually still connected to my old one, so this is right. Okay, let's find all this stuff. All this stuff. Well, let's subscribe to, what do we got for our topics here? We're going to subscribe to Mega State, right? I want to see. I was watching this in the serial monitor before. I think maybe I did it with something else. Subscribe. Publish. Find a spot where you put your topic in that you want to publish. It's in the middle. Can I do a full MQTT setup from scratch video with Home System Blue? I kind of did a theme last week. It took a long time though. Mega tree. But oh, you know what? I probably need to send something. So let me get a jumper and pretend like it connected something here. I have to admit, as per usual, I was not working on this beforehand, so I was not terribly prepared. But somebody asked me about this, so I thought I'd go through it. We're going to go down here. So the front door, we'll do 22. Somebody's probably already saying, where's your glasses, Doc? Okay. There it goes. Bing! Bing, 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 bing. Right there. You see that? So when I took this jumper wire and I put it in, like in that case, I'll put it in number 23, and then I'll pull it low, the garage door is open. So when I connect it to ground is when it tells me that it's open. Is that what's happening down here? That's actually backwards. That's actually backwards. Oh, no, it's open. No, that's right. That's right. No, that's wrong. Wait a minute. When the sensor is shut, when the window is shut, it should be closed. It's backwards. Yeah, it's backwards. Yeah, it's backwards, right? It's backwards. So I have here reed switches. So these are going to be exactly what is on the doors already. And if I was building a new house, this is what I would use. So I can take one of these and I can stick it in there and I can stick it in ground. And then when I put a magnet near it, there it goes. And it tells me that it's open, which is freaking wrong. Yeah, I just need to replace high with low. All right. You're right. It's not right. Okay. Well, that's good. I know I need to fix that. And probably what I'll change is I'll just change this message. I'll just change the message. How do you connect it to Home Assistant? Wi-Fi Ethernet Shield? Yes, Kuba, yes, I do. So let me show you. And this cord's not very long, so the camera's going to have to be a little bit... I'm going to have to point it over here, and it's upside down. But, so what I've got is this. This is the Arduino Mega. Can you see it? Kind of, sort of. Okay, this is the Arduino Mega, and this is the reed switch I just connected to it. So it's the Arduino Mega with the Ethernet shield on top of it, and it is connected here to my home network. There. It's connected here to my home network, and then it's just powered with this right now. So I could watch the serial monitor here if I wanted to, or I could just power it with a barrel connector over here, which is what I'll do downstairs. I'll just power it with a barrel connector downstairs when it's in the mechanical room. Really glad you had pants on. Did I zoom in on my bottom, my nethers? You do it pantsless? You do that just to live on the edge, don't you, Brian? You do that just to live on the edge. Wait, stick what in what? I missed it. Brandon, what did I missed it. Anyways, there are advantages for something easy rather than using a Pi 0W GPIO. So the reason I'm doing this, pants? Who wears pants? Pants is so 2019. The reason that I'm doing this is to avoid Wi-Fi, for one. The reason I'm using a Mega is because I wanted a ton of pins. The reason I'm not using an ESP32 with Ethernet is because when I started this project 2 years ago, they didn't exist. That should answer all of those questions. 2-pack overhead door, floor, garage, shutter, contact, sensor, security, alarm switch. Wow. The pants market was killed by Zoom. This topic is very... Oh, I'm glad, Shark Tamer. I'm glad it's relevant. I've been smartening up my home, and the alarm system is one of the things I have left. I actually already have a smart system with door and motors. So I think, honestly, if I'm starting this today, I would go with one of these kinds of boards probably instead. The limiting factor here is still a bit of the GPIO availability, but I think you probably have enough on these. The reason that I say that, and I shouldn't maybe speak too confidently about it yet, but the reason I would say that is because with these, you can use an ESP Home Sketch, and that's what I'm going to do. This is the ESP32 with Ethernet, so I'm going to use ESP Home to program these. When I do that, everything that I put into my ESP Home Sketch, I define the sensors and everything, and then it just automatically goes into Home Assistant. With this setup, I'm still going to have to go into Home Assistant, and in a YAML file, I'm going to have to define each of these binary sensors, and I'm going to have to set the state topic for each of the binary sensors. Well, the state topic's not so bad, but the payload, which turns it on or off, you know? So I'm going to have to go in, I'm going to have to write a big long YAML with all these sensors in it to make it actually show up as door open, door closed, or trigger the alarm and things like that. I could set it up as auto discovery. I could if I knew how. Is there good enough? I don't know how. With an Arduino sketch, I don't know how to set up auto discovery. I know with Tasmota. Arduino Mega as an I/O extension in ESP Home. Ooh, I did not know that. So WIM, so ESP Home. If I could write all this in ESP Home, that would be nice. I didn't think... So it doesn't necessarily do the Arduino Mega, but maybe just Arduino. Oh, Arduino port expander. Is this what you're talking about? Have you ever added an ESP12 to a dumb RGB floodlight? No, but I would think you could. I would use the ESP12 and a relay. Full name of this board or link. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I don't even remember where I got these ESP32 boards. Yeah, if you just go, there's not that many of them. There's not that many ESP32 Ethernet boards in the universe. So if you just search ESP32 Ethernet, there's only so many that will come up. Okay. Oh, this one's brand new. This DF Robot one didn't exist when I searched a month ago. Shopping. So this looks like one. That doesn't look like one that I have though. Nope. So here's this one. This is the Lily TT Go one. So this is one of the ones that I have. This is one that I have, the Olimex ESP32 PoE. This one I had not seen before. This is the one somebody was talking about, the ETH01 embedded serial Ethernet. So there's not much else to this one, but that one works. There's the Lily Go again. This is an Olimex again, different one, a little bit. This is the other Olimex that I have, the big one. So that's the EVB. Yeah. Of course. You know, if you... what are you going to do?
I'm thinking of little things you can change.
You have been slippy fingers today. Holly's dropped her phone like 3 times today.
Oh.
All the way from the top of the stairs straight down onto the first floor.
And 0 cracks.
And it didn't crack. It's a pretty good case. So here's another Olimex one that I don't have. So there's a handful. I mean, there's a decent number of them. So I can't necessarily say that any of these are the greatest and best one ever. So this is the PoE isolated one that I was talking about. So this is the Olimex. So it's similar to this one that I have, but the one that I have does not isolate the PoE. It is PoE, but the high voltage circuit is not isolated from the low voltage stuff. This one, it is. This one here, it is isolated. All right. And then some of these others, like I found this one, I'm pretty sure, not the Lily Go one, this other one. This guy, this crazy one here, which is the modtronics.com ESP32MXE. So this one, I found just on, I want to say it was DigiKey. It could have been Mouser, but anyways, I was just searching around and I found that one there. So if the reason I would pick those is because I could use ESP Home. I know I could use ESP Home pretty easily. Maybe with the Mega, there's also a way, but I don't know, right? A lot of this is I'm just trying to, I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to figure something out that didn't already exist or isn't already really well established. So if I do it, if you have ideas for better ways, I'm all for it. And I don't necessarily have a great reason for doing what I've done in most of these cases. So I'd love to see if anybody else comes up with ways to do some of these things. I have one with the gut out right now. I tried poking it with a stick, but no luck. Best YouTube channel, what? Thank you, man. Just got my first project to my TV. Thanks to you, you're the best. Thank you very much. Let's do some unicorns. All right, well, we established that I will need to change the sketch. I'm going to need to change the sketch so that it says closed instead of open in all these places. Oh dear. Oh dear. Let's do a find. We're going to find open, and we're going to replace it with closed. Now, I want to find it first before I... Okay, yes, I do want to replace that one. I'm not going to just automatically find and replace all. Is it not? Oh, replace and find. Okay. Here's the next one. Replace and find. Okay, replace and find. Okay, it looks like there isn't any place else where I said open in the sketch, so that's good. Oh, I started to say, so my tagline from when I first started making videos, which was kind of long and kind of silly, and I still like it, but it'll either work or it'll explode, right? Remember that? So I like that, but I've been thinking for a while about a new tagline, and I thought of it today. Less think, more do. Because that's kind of how I am. If you spend a lot of time thinking about it, that's great. But at some point, you got to stop thinking and just do something. And so that's what I do. I do less thinking and more doing. Make your text bigger in the IDE. Okay. I don't know how. I mean, I'm also happy to take this and let's make a gist out of it right now. Let's just make a gist. So this way you guys can have it. If anybody wants to take it and make it better, great. I actually think it may have already been here. It may already be here. In that case, we need to change it. Did I pass it? Yep, there it is. 10 months ago. Let's change it. Zzz. Oh, wait. I can't just do that. I have to probably tell it I'm going to edit it. Oh, no, I can. Edit. Okay. Zzz. Paste. Okay. Yeah. Now where it should be good. Update public gist. And there it is if anybody wants it. Doesn't everything say closed now? Yeah, that's what we wanted, right? Control a rollerball for mouse up for bigger text. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, ginormous text. Can you see that? Secrets. Less think, more do. That sounds like the worst idea ever. That's what makes it funny. How about no secrets? What's the end game for the Ethernet ESP home project? Now listen to this, Jason. So the end game for the ESP32 wired ESP home project is one device that can be connected to Ethernet, which can control a relay, sense something simple. You know, there's a lot of just on-off sort of binary sensor, motion sensor or door window sensor, you know, those kinds of simple on-off binary sensors. I do want temperature sensor in there. Gosh, what other things there was? Anyways, basically a sensor. So you could put it in a location like next to a door in the house. And in that one location, it could turn the lights on and off, detect if there was motion, give you a temperature, humidity reading in the room, give you a light sensing reading in the room. And then I also want the ability in one device, basically with one sketch, to be able to move something. So have it, relay control is one thing, but also maybe stepper motor control or just output and on off, which is be the same thing as a relay for a motor. You know, so you turn a motor with a motor controller signal to turn something on or off or make something open or close. And part of that is because I want to replace more things in my house with Ethernet stuff instead of Wi-Fi. The other thing is I want to make a game for the kids out of it. And my kids are getting older, but I'm going to have grandkids at some point. And if you've been watching for a while, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that a couple years ago, I made a game at the Maker Faire out of Home Assistant, basically. And I took some motion sensors and a temperature sensor and a reed switch and a Volumio output, and I made a game for kids at the Maker Faire, and it was super popular. we had a long line of kids that wanted to do it. And now that we're building like the Hobbit hole, and we will eventually build an even bigger sort of house up at this property that we bought in Idaho. We want to make it so that you can play that game. If you've ever taken your kids to like Great Wolf Lodge, they have something like that. Is it time? Okay. I'm going to have to do a be right back. You guys okay? It might be a few minutes. Okay, I'm coming. Was it IoT Adventures? Yeah, bees. Let me give you these. I want to give you these. You guys can watch these for a few minutes. This is my be right back. Okay. Let's see how cute my little girls were. Okay. I'll just let this first one play. Okay.
I'll tell you to make the wrong pass. B1 runs has a push button, some RGB LEDs, temperature sensor, relay, and an old computer power supply. Depending on who NodeRED is not news. The same guys like me, NodeRED news. It lets you work with Wi-Fi chip enabling devices, like the DVU, to manage inputs and outputs without having to write your own script. So drop down menu, do some commands, on content, and view pretty much anything. Click having button doing and you need the same process they use for all Sonoff devices. You can use Sonoff LED or BroadLink. I'm not going to go through where to get last week and where to use Sonoff LED because I've done that about 50 times in these videos. If you haven't seen me do it before, there's a link. This is the B1 connected to a micro USB port. Just plug into a USB port from your computer. You don't need an FTD adapter and you don't need to put in the program. You start flash using already detects the COM port. That's the secret. Click Sonoff LED, flash, and here we go. And flash complete. Excellent. Okay. Now, you can connect to your camera. It's like you need Sonoff also. There is. You can put in a backup point to put in your Wi-Fi SSID after that. Or you can go on the AP mode and then put your Sonoff Wi-Fi address and put in your Wi-Fi SSID. This is all the same thing you do. This is not a piece of music. You can tell me what I'm doing. You're ready to connect all of our parts. This is how I have all the parts connected to the GPU. This is using a flash drive from your computer. I've got 12 and 5 volt power that I share with the same room. My LED strips use 2 volts. And magnetic door uses 1. The positive drive from the 4 volt power represents the yellow line. The green volt power burns. The straight line here goes from the negative to the green. Is on the normally open contact of the grid. The other connections from the grid are 5 volts from the B1 ground wire is connected to all the other wires. And the data wire is connected to the E1 pin on this relay module. There's really only one input pin on the B1. This happens to be a shield module that's supposed to go on top of the B1, so the pin I would use is one marked B. You use it with relay 7. The wire goes from the E1 pin to the relay goes to E6 in the B1. For our super LEDs, data is E8 in the B1. The temperature sensor requires 3 volts and ground and data. Again, all the times is connected to the 3 volt wire comes from the 3 volt pin on the B1 and then the data wire is connected to the blue wire. The last connection is for the push button. It's going to get both cases started. One wire goes to ground, the other is to the port. Unfortunately, the B1 is with USB, but you also just provide 5 volts to connect to 5 volts. I'm not sure how to do that, but I do have a post that says you connect to that 5 volt wire. It's about the culture of B1. That may be the cost, and you can figure it out from the group. So just get rid of that and online from the group. That's all hardware functions. Now with the power up, we will have to add more and finish the software stuff. I'm happy to make it as simple as possible for somebody to repeat this project. And if you get a backlog commit that was set up to do away with one part, then you need to know. However, you will need to update the backlog commit by putting in your Wi-Fi SSID version and your MQTT version. The only other thing that might change would be the temperature monitor type. I use the EM indicator too. If you use something else like DHT button, then you have to change that one in the technical settings. That's not really much. Everything else, you should be able to do the same. Using all your settings freely, it does nothing. This is what the visual interface will do in the one box in the room. If you go to the configuration and configure module, you can see all the keyboard assignments to the different inputs and outputs. In Tesla, when you're using something like the B1 unit, the modules are switch is to do. But you can see what I have in the printing background matches up with what you see here, with which pins are assigned to which inputs or outputs. The 8 for the RGB Relay 1 is the relay that can play from memory block, and switch 2 is on grid 4. That's the push button that starts it. One important thing to remember, you're going to put in more than one switch. You need to also put in a relay, even though that relay doesn't really exist. And that pin isn't really connected. In order to get switch 2 to show up a function, you need to also add relay 2. I hope that makes sense. The only function to switch 2 is to send an MQTT message. Got it? So we've got cameras, we have a hardware set. Now we set up what we need to do for this. In your configuration identifier, you need some switch. Look all this above to do, so you just have to fix it. We'll just walk through so you know what's happening. We're creating a switch with one box and one. That is connected to relay in the link. So the top is for power. We're creating a switch to start the request and set that up as switch number 2. And the top is for in with power 2. These other two switches are part of the guidance. If you go to improvement, this was the most dragging top. We need sound with the I spell and the fire spell. Next, we need to include a light connection, the one box, and the dragon. These are the command and state topics that we and have full control over the RGB lights and limits. There's a third topic behind them, another for the RGB photo, and another pair for the brightness. Now we need to include 8 input rules. The purpose of these is to make sure that the request compresses in the right sequence. I want to make sure that the dragon doesn't activate any protected movement before the players can actually obtain the movement. So these are my rules on how it works. At the end of critical steps, an input rule is turned on. In order for the next step to occur, that input rule has to be on, based on, and the subsequent steps not on. That makes sense when we walk through the animation. Now, these are the really big ones. There is one primary system, which is the motion and the drag. And the last thing I said in configuration is the tempers. Now the fun part is the automations. Usually, the automations happen, I think probably the most important part of the school thing is every good automation. Without this, nothing will happen. The first automation is what happens when you press the button and the button falls. It starts the request. The trigger is the switch to start the request going on. It's a momentary button, so you press it, it's the on for a second, and on. That's all it has to do to start the operation. And that sets off several actions. First is to play a recorded sound in the deleted files. This gives the player some initial instructions on what they need to do. To get the sound files to play, I created them just using input for command. Then I took the audio files on my deleted file. Then I created a folder for each file to include just that file. I'm sure there are other ways to do this. This is how I do it. The other actions are to make sure that the box is on, that the dragon panels are turning green, and that the lights in the green box are displaying full variety of colors. And finally, we turn all of our input rules off, which resets any of the previous detections or other events that may have happened in the last person in the box. That's automation number 1. Automation number 2. The trigger for this automation is the temperature sensor, recording temperature above whatever pressure you set right here. And that happens, the lights inside the lamp will turn red, and one box will turn on. Another pre-recorded sound file probably players congratulations and getting what they need to do. And finally, we'll turn on the input rule that says the 1 over 10, which is essential for activating the motion function in the ring. The third automation is a reading and a setting, and instead of having a threshold for temperature above a certain degree, this one is for the temperature threshold below a certain degree. This is the ice. When it's activated, the lights turn blue, box is unlocked, the ice spell sound files, and your one continued bleeding is turned on. Now the player is ready to continue the next step. This automation will set the one box back to a variety of colors. If the temperature drops back into the space leading to finally, So if there's a second person involved in this, that person better use the information with the save and the and all of that is really one. Light switching in the box. Instead of switching in the box. Light switching
All right, enough of this. Is there anybody left? Oh man, did anybody left? Oh gosh. Anyways, this is what I did, and it was really cool. It was really fun. It was quite the hit with the Maker Faire people, and the kids especially. But this was kind of fun. So I want to have something like this, and I want to be able to do it with, oh, it's almost over. I want to do it with these things. And it had to do with the eyes, like if it saw you, then the eyes turned red. And then if you zap it, you kill it. Anyways, it was a good time. NodeRED? Yeah, well, let's do NodeRED. I can't believe... they're your children. Don't call them things. Oh, you can't hear them? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it probably was... It was too low. Anyways. No sound. It's so muffled. Sorry. I thought maybe it was piping through, but I didn't plan that a lot. We had a visitor, and I had to stop to go take care of our visitor for a few minutes, but all's well now. So, we're back. We're back.
Are you talking about the
Yeah.
unexpected quest?
Yeah. Yep. So the only last thing on this whole Arduino Mega stuff that we need to do is going to be setting up the sensors, and then the automation. So I guess there's still quite a bit, but anyways, it's I think wired is becoming increasingly more important. Wi-Fi is great, but as you get tons and tons of Wi-Fi, you start to realize that Wi-Fi isn't always really reliable. Things fall off the network, and then I don't know at what point do you get too many Wi-Fi signals flying around your house and things get congested and confused and screwed up. So, anyways, that's why I'm kind of going to wired. If we have Blade here, we could do the setup for NodeRED on this brand new. You have something that might interest me with my Wi-Fi? Ooh, tell me, Blade. Tell me. You don't have a light downstairs that turns red in the stream? I should. I just locked the door. They had a bug with their latest update for Wi-Fi apps. Ooh, who did? Oh, hey, Quindor. And they'll be getting a lot more things wired. That's correct. That is correct, Quindor. Quindor has made a breakthrough. I'll tell you that much. Quindor has accomplished a breakthrough, which will, in the not too distant future, allow us to have wired DigUnos and DigQuads. So the DigUno DigQuad part, like this, will still be the same, but the board that goes on top of it will still be ESP32 based, but you'll be able to plug in an Ethernet connection to it and have a completely wired connection to run your DigUnos and DigQuads. That is awesome. That is awesome. He gave me permission for that one. With PoE, no. No, because you're not going to be able to run the lights with the power you would get from PoE anyways. So you have to have a separate power supply for the lights, and that power supply is going to power the DigUno and the DigQuad anyways. So, no. Where do I pre-order? Take my money. Take my money. Speaking of which, I should have Unos back in stock. I think they said Tuesday almost. So we're gonna be up to our necks in packaging. So if you've put your name on the list to get a notification from my website when there's Unos and Quads back in stock, you should be getting a notification soon. Wired Ethernet Zigbee bridge that would work with ZHA, possibly. Oh, nice, Byron. Nice. That sounds awesome. Plan on 3 weeks after Tuesday? What? This isn't Permatrack. Speaking of Permatrack, since nobody has asked yet, but Permatrack is, for some reason, it's in New York right now. I don't know why it went from China, which is to the west of us, to New York before coming to us. Pretty much everything else that comes from China lands in San Diego, San Francisco, something like that, in California side. But that could explain why it's been on the ocean for over a month now. So, anyways, got to catch up for giving you grief for all the streams I've been missing. Yeah, you have been missing some, but that's okay. Got sent to Flushing. It got, I don't know, who knows where it went. Oh, is that it? Is that where it is? The largest Asian community on the East Coast? Oh, maybe. You know, it could be that they put it in with some other stuff. And so it was just like, oh, this boat's going to America. And so they put it in with the boat that's going to America. And that boat was going to New York instead of California. I don't know. Crazy. Ooh, another Home Assistant discovery thing for ESP32s. Ooh. Using MQTT discovery buttons. Oh. Does that put it in an Arduino sketch, or is this ESP Home? Because that will be an important thing to not have to get into YAML and write them all. Let's go ahead and set up real quick the. Let's go ahead and set up NodeRED real quick. Let's get NodeRED running. This is my newest Home Assistant. This is the blue. And so we're going to go to add-ons here. And there should be a NodeRED. Oh, forgive my yawnage. I don't remember. Is it in the top one? I guess I could search for it. NodeRED. This one. Bing. What is this for? So documentation, I probably have to set up something like a secret or something, right? We'll install it. This is like the another automation engine. So this would actually be pretty good for the game kind of stuff too.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't even have to have Home Assistant. You could have it all go through NodeRED. But basically it's I'll show you. It's this. You've seen me use this before. Zach's sitting here next to me and asks what it is. So it's this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You've seen that before.
Yeah.
But since I'm kind of redoing everything on that blue box right there, this is what it is on the new blue. That's about time. All right, so let's go here. That already hit install. Okay, start on boot. Watchdog. We'll show it in the sidebar. We don't need to do auto brake. Might as well just change the name, Frank, to auto brake. I don't know what that means, Erwin. Erwin, are you getting married? Congratulations. All right. I'm sure here in the configuration we're going to have to put something in, but let's read through the instructions here. Start NodeRED. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Set a credential secret, which is used to encrypt sensitive data. This is just a password which you should save in a secondary location. Now, here's something that we need to probably discuss on setting up of a new Home Assistant is the secrets file. Has anybody made anything that would serve as basically a secrets file that it doesn't need to be? I know that's the thing. Making a YAML file and making a secrets file is not, it shouldn't scare anybody, but it probably does, right? Secrets file doesn't work via the UI. Does it not work on this? It doesn't work on this? Really? It's not Node Blue. Don't use the same password as MQTT user. What are you suggesting? Encryption? No, I'm suggesting like basically a password manager inside Home Assistant. It would just be dumb. It's just dumb. Never mind. I'm basically saying like an easy way to add things to a secrets. But there's no reason. So Chris, you were struggling with this yesterday? It doesn't work when setting up integrations via the UI. Well, that's not really what I'm doing. Passwords for MQTT, fancy. Password manager, encryption. Oh. No, I don't want to hide my secrets, too bad. You cannot dynamically edit config nodes on NodeRED. Password manager, Bitwarden. Yeah. Doesn't work for that. I think it just needs to be a secrets file when you're doing that. But anyways, for this, we're just going to, we'll just put a password in and then I'll just change it later. But not like a whole password manager. I don't mean a whole password manager. I just mean like when you use, I guess you don't need to so much for most things, right? I'm trying to think of how we in the past have used the secrets file. So the secrets file was a way to reference your most important things, right? Your passwords. And the times that you needed to do that were like if you were setting up an integration that was like Life360 or Sonoff, Tuya, all those things in the past when you set them up in YAML, you went in and you said, this is my username and this is my password, right? It was on the line in your configuration file. And that's how you got the password into those things. Now you're doing that in the integrations step, right? You go to the integration in the UI and you put in the user and password and then it stores it wherever it stores it. You don't need a secrets file for that anymore. So when does a secrets file matter in a new Home Assistant setup? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it does. Turtle Talks, you found my Hyperion LED video? Fantastic. There should be more. More of those coming. Nice thing about the secrets files is you can show your configs without giving out the secrets. Yeah. Well, when you have integrations where, and you put your user and password into an integration in the user interface, when you set up something like Life360, where does your password go? It's got to be sitting in a file somewhere in Home Assistant. And if you are loading up your Home Assistant configuration, if you're posting it for people to look at, it's probably there somewhere, right? In NodeRED, password configs are saved in the config nodes. You cannot edit those dynamically. Dot storage. Oh, okay. So anything that starts with a dot, you can eliminate or not put in on your GitHub if you're backing it up anyways. More Hyperion, do go on. So Brandon, what I wanted to do with Hyperion that I haven't done yet is set it up with Hyperbian. And then I was gonna do it with a camera, but then the person that I was talking to about it said that he did it with a camera and it just didn't turn out that good. To the cloud. Once it's in the cloud, it never comes out. Get crypt? I don't know what that is. Storage has your whole Lovelace and you share yours already. I don't share my dot storage, do I? Shouldn't. I thought we were excluding anything with a dot at the beginning. Anyway. Oh, I share my Lovelace in a gist. Passwords are stored in the database when configuring via UI depending on the integration. That would make sense. I heard you can flash it with ESP Home Flasher. Hey, Blackadder, how you doing? Get crypt adds some hooks to Git, so it decrypts your secrets file. Oh, okay, interesting. Bad Z's. Okay, got distracted. What do you know? Big surprise. Yeehaw. Setting up scripts for Sonoff switches running stock Sonoff firmware. Scripts, Craig? Well, you know what? Kind of. Kind of. What we're setting up right now is NodeRED. So scripts, who uses scripts? Do you guys use scripts very much? I don't use scripts hardly ever. Automations, flows in NodeRED, maybe scenes in Home Assistant. But I hardly ever use scripts. But Hyperion and Pi Zero haven't wired up the LEDs yet, though. Oh, okay. Well, then you should be in good shape. I'm very curious, and I need to do it with a Pi Zero and consistently use it. I'm very curious because I've had a lot of people that say there's a delay. And I don't think it's the Pi Zero. I think the Pi Zero is plenty fast enough to do that. But maybe there is a delay with a Pi Zero. Maybe the Pi Zero's not got a big enough brain. I don't know. Oh, no. Oh, the at command is currently not working. Uh-oh. We'll get to some at questions in a minute. If you guys want to, maybe blades are good enough if you don't mind. If you see good questions and you want to grab them and post them in the thing. Post them in the questions thing. We'll answer them in a bit. How's that sound? And Rambozo, you are right. Tasmota for the win. Tasmota with the new 0.92 and and the Tasmota integration. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. It's just amazing. It's amazing. The how easy it's gotten, even just in the past year, is crazy. Pi Zero for what? Pi Zero for Hyperion. For Hyperion, the thing that puts the lights behind your TV, makes the colors shine on the wall that are on the screen. That thing. You can use a Pi Zero. I use a Pi 3 and it works fantastic. But a Pi Zero should work. Okay, here we go. So what do we need to do? Search, set a credential secret which is used to encrypt sensitive data. This is just a password which you should save in a secondary location and then start it. All right, so let's go to configuration. Credential secrets right here. We're going to use my standard public password. If I do control and scroll on this, will it do the same? Oh yeah, it does. Look at that. Nice and big for you guys. All right. So we're going to do DrZzs, Zess, PW1. All right. That's my public password. Dark mode, we're going to set to true, baby. HTTP node user and password, HTTP static user and password. I'm not going to use any of those. SSL, I'm actually going to set to false, which maybe somebody was saying that they had a hard time with this. If you aren't using HTTP to access your Home Assistant, then you need to set this. Oops, did I just mess that up then? Yep, it went away. Dang it. Shouldn't have done that. Anyways, then you need to set your SSL to false. So up here, I'm not using HTTPS. Right? It says not secure. So this is just my inside my local network here. Let's try that again. DrZzs PW1. We do want dark mode because everybody loves dark mode. And SSL is false in this case. I'm not using SSL. Oh, wait. Require SSL. False again. Is that right? Just disable all security. Who doesn't like dark mode? Had a delay. It just dropped the resolution on the app down and it's fine. Oh, okay, good. Oh, Wayne, that's great. Maybe that's what I need to tell people that ask. So in Hyperion, there's a setting to drop the resolution. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, you know what, Rob? Hookup Rob's video from last week was really good about NodeRED. And he made a reference to my lack of hair. Justin.hair doesn't equals null kind of thing. Have I seen Rob's fire? Which fire? His like Kindle Fire? Oh, that's great, Ryan. And there's no delay now. Oh, that's great. You guys are having trouble. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, that was funny. I'm okay with it. I tell him all the time he has too much hair, so that's a little joke for him and me, I guess, but it was pretty funny. The hair comment was fantastic. I laughed. I was sitting in my car by myself waiting for something, and I was watching that video, and it was so funny. I just laughed. Device resolution to custom, then width to 1024 and height to... Oh, that's an interesting thing. So let's look and see. So we're distracted again. This is Hyperion for a brief moment. Now I'm also running a really old Hyperion. So I wonder if I even have the ability to change that. I don't even know where that would be in the settings. He responds in one of the comments, I had to do it over and over again because I couldn't stop laughing. It was a good one. It was quite good. I texted him to tell him that how funny I thought it was, and it was pretty late at night here, and he's 2 hours ahead of me, so I thought, oh, he won't be awake. He responded right away. Capture settings. Your capture hardware. Oh, here it is, resolution. Oh, okay, so wherever you are capturing from. Oh, interesting. Okay. So for mine, I'm not capturing USB. I think I'm actually capturing... Well, maybe that's the only place. Type. That's funny, because I'm not capturing USB. Why would it enter USB capture? I guess maybe if it's not USB capture, it doesn't matter. But if you... So in USB capture... device resolution, change it to custom, and then you can change the pixels. What did you use? 576? Just okay, sweet. And I guess you could do things like changing the frames per second and stuff if you wanted. That's great. That is great. Okay, nice, guys. Mine is capturing. It's actually through one of the network options, because it's capturing through this. Oops. It's capturing through this Hyperion Screen Capture app on Windows. So there might be a way in here to change that if you needed to, but I don't need to. It's been working great. But that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, back to MQTT. So am I good with this? Am I good with false SSL and false require SSL? This is the one I'm not sure about. I think require SSL we can put false for sure. This one I don't know. I guess if I set this to false, it won't really matter. Anyways, we can just try it. Save. Go back to NodeRED now. And we should be able to start it. Okay. And then we can go to the logs. Put another log on the fire. Man, this text is so big. It's so easy to read. I put false for both and it seems okay. All right. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, that's what yours has, Raspy. Okay, good. I access everything through VPN now. So it's... I don't feel the need for the encryption part so much, since that's encrypted already, right? Or whatever. Yeah. Or VPN is direct. Nobody's snooping. Thanks for working on that, Sir Goodenough. And Blade, if you're doing it too. Working on trying to get the Ask thing fixed. Was bored in lockdown. Got a slow-mo cam out to truly get delay as good as I could get. That's awesome, Wayne. So you put a slow-mo camera and focused it, and you counted like the milliseconds between a change in color on the screen and a change in color on the Hyperion lights. You, sir, reached a new level of boredom. My VPN doesn't seem to cause any delay. It's a VPN just to my house, from work or wherever I am to my house. Not like, redirected through some other place. Okay, looks like everything's running. looks to be running, wouldn't you say? So now we can go to NodeRED here, open Web UI, and there she blows, and there's all my Home Assistant stuff. Awesome! Awesome! Whole estate, let's find an entity here. Let's just find this one. Or let's try something that I know is disconnected. Nope, running. Unavailable. What? Oh, I must have not had it connected. Let's try a different one. I'm just doing this to see that it's actually connecting to Home Assistant. And it's on. It's running. Yay! I just did this because I wanted to verify. I want to verify that it's connecting to Home Assistant and getting the state, and it is. Ask. Test. Forgot something. Oh. Hate polling. Why not in events? Totally could use events. But anyways. Okay. Well, NodeRED is pretty dang easy to get up, and I'm not even going to attempt to explain NodeRED. I'm happy to use NodeRED. In fact, I think I'm gonna do my best to start with NodeRED when I want to think of an automation and I want to make something happen. I want to start with NodeRED. The other things that I want to do, though, is in Home Assistant as it exists now with the automations. You have the things like the wait for, and I want to try some of those. Did I miss a memo? Is it NodeRED week or something? The hookup is now here too. NodeRED, it was been on my list of things to set up in my new Home Assistant Blue. So I just did. It really takes like 30 seconds. It could not be much easier. I do need to change the password, which it didn't ask me for. NodeRED is life. Less think, more do. Don't turn me into a broken record. All right. Home Assistant red. How about Node blue? So let's see. I guess what we can do. Oh, this last thing. Let's do this other thing too, and then we'll answer questions. I wanted to see how to make these guys do their business. Keep the instructions. Oh, maybe I'll save that. I meant to give. Doggone it. So Sonoff, in their wonderfulness, they're so kind. They made some new lights and they sent them to me, and they wanted me to talk about them. And I feel I don't want to bash them, but and these maybe they're really good as far as like the colors, but what you can see right there, besides the Band-Aid on my finger, is that they are analog. They're RGB, right? They're analog. They're IR remote. They probably, in this little box here, probably has a Wi-Fi thing that you can connect so that it will connect to the Sonoff app and stuff. I don't use analog LEDs. I don't use analog LEDs for anything. And I meant to give them to my sister. My sister was visiting, and I meant to give them to her because her boys wanted them. And I was like, oh yeah, let me just talk about them on the stream, and then I'll give them to you, and you could take them. But I forgot. So anyways. Oh, hey, baby, you need more time on iPad again, huh? So anyways, there you go. Sonoff, if I'm probably the wrong guy to give analog LEDs to, because I just don't have much use for them. when I say analog LEDs, for anybody that doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, this strip of LEDs is not individually addressable. These can only be all one color at the same time. So you can't have this LED be blue and this one be red and this one be green and this one be yellow. These do not work that way. You can have them be any color, so they are, you know, full RGB, because they can be any one of the combinations of RGB colors, 225 million or whatever it is, but they will all be that color. And there's nothing else you can do with them. Just fine sometimes, but these look like, I mean, they look like a decent quality strip. This sticker on the back is a little bit maybe higher quality than some of them. I just think that they should, and I understand people want to be in the RGB business and they want to sell strips of colored lights, but I don't know. For me, I don't have a big use for non-addressable analog LEDs.
Can you just give me 5 minutes on the App Store so I can get this app to help me edit this photo for Sarah?
Uh-huh. Don't look. I already promised them to my sister, but I can send you it. So good enough. All you gotta do is just ask, and I'll send you whatever you want. PC battle stations. If you're into PC battle stations. Quick question: do I use Z-Wave devices? No, I do not. Some light switches in my house, but I'm afraid that protocol is not future-proof. You know what, Luis? This is a good forum to ask. I would love to hear what folks in chat say about Z-Wave in the future. I mean, if you have them, they should still work, but I don't know either what the future of Z-Wave is. Yeah, Rambozo's got a good point. Probably nothing is really future-proof, right? But Z-Wave's been around for a while. Blake can give her the password later. Let's read some questions before I go take a nap. What's up, baby? Did it not work?
Is it 2 O's for the Google, or is it just?
Is it 2? Just 1. It's just 1. 1, and then G.
That's right. Love you.
Love you, baby. All right, I'm about to start saying the passwords out loud. How long do I plan to nap for? A couple hours. I wonder what's going to happen with whatever that chip is, but I still think that at least Z-Wave and Zigbee have become widespread enough that they're just probably never going to go away. I mean, think about like RF and infrared, even with all of their problems, all their downsides, they've been around so long and they've been so prevalent in the world, in the market. They're not going to go away, even if we have a much better technology, I think. Whatever, maybe. Does LED density matter for Hyperion? Only for your power supply and your wiring and stuff. As far as, I think I use the least dense, but that's mostly cheapness, and I'm not super, it doesn't bother me if it's not, real precise. I don't think I need very dense LEDs for Hyperion, but some people might prefer it. So I'm not going to tell somebody that they shouldn't, but I'm very happy with my 30 LEDs per meter setup. So haven't they been prevalent because the rest was even worse? Maybe. We still dig holes with shovels. It's a offline mesh. Is Zigbee not an offline mesh too? Zigbee can be an offline mesh, right? Should we work on Stream Commander this week? Yes. How do I do those announcements? Which ones, Theo? Oh, these announcements? This is buttons. So this is my text to speech page basically. I need to just change the name of it here, but I'm going to convert it all over to my other system anyways. But so when I push a button that says sign off, then this has a message that just says it's time for sign off, it's time for sign off, it's time for sign off. And that message, so this is checking a binary sensor button, input boolean. So it's just a sensor. I push a button and this input boolean goes to on. When it goes to on, it sends this message, and this message goes to here, and then that goes to every one of my Amazon Echoes. And I actually need to change this so that it does the really cool Google announcement thing. And then these are some other ones. Bedtime, the door, the closet door's open, the closet door's closed. I had it doing the Christmas tree needs water. Basically, any of my announcements can go, when I click this, they all go to this. And that way, when I want to make a new announcement, I don't have to redo all this stuff. So this is one of the things that makes NodeRED really great, is I can just, if I want to make a new NodeRED flow that changes the message, like I push a button and it sends a different message, I just have to make one of these that has that message in it. This is a subflow button that Blade made, but I don't remember what's inside here. It's not that much, right? I don't remember what's inside here. Is there anything else? Might be nothing else. I don't remember what's in there. Oh, it said edit subflow up there. Edit subflow template. So this is it. So it didn't really do anything. Is that all that's in any of these? Oh yeah, here's one for dinner time. Yeah, it's the same thing. So it doesn't do much other than have a delay and then turn the input back off again. That's part of that. Makes this message and then changes this part probably. But anyways, that's what this is. So I can just make a new one of these. I can just copy this, change the entity that pushes the button, change the message I want it to send, and now I have a new button and it will just go right to this and it will make the announcement. So I don't have to rewrite all this stuff. And the other nice thing is, so one of the reasons that some of my old announcements haven't worked is because if you do this in YAML, at least the way I did it, you do this in YAML, the name of the entity for the media player might be listed in 5 or 6 different automations. And you can go through and find and replace. But in this case, I just have to go here and change it once. And then all my other announcements and everything will still work. So for that purpose, as in replicating or copying or combining, I guess, in some ways, automations, NodeRED definitely has a big advantage. Oh, did I submit it? Oh, shoot, did I not? Maybe I didn't. One hour ago. This one says 1 hour ago. Maybe you need to refresh. Do a refresh. Didn't work. There it is. Did I not publish it or something? Slacking. Slack-a-jacka. Yeah, I did. It's up there. Thank you very much, Don. Was late, but I'm all caught up now. Hey, 3Ative, how you doing, buddy? All right, let's go to the question answer page here. So question answer page. Stream live questions. Here we go. All right. So we got Corey asked. Let's see, is that the top? Yep, it's the top. Okay. So Corey Allred, you still here? I can't get the RPi 3B Plus with the newest version of Hyperion, version 9, to work reliably. Would an Arduino be better controller? Or should I try using an older version of Hyperion? I think what you should try using is Hyperbian. Try using Hyperbian. Hyperbian is basically an image, Raspberry Pi image that is made with it already installed. So you just take this, you burn it on your SD card, put it in your Pi, turn it on, and you should be good. It's already pre-configured, and you don't have to do all the things that I did in the video about Hyperion. You don't have to do anymore. Just use this. Love that Nightbot auto links to me. It loves you. Nightbot loves you. Let's see. Next question. Athema. What do you prefer? A smart wall switch or a smart bulb wall switch? That one's easy. And the reason is in most cases, the bulb is going to be hooked up to a switch anyways. And if somebody switches off the switch, the bulb's not going to work. The only exception to that would be in some location, maybe in a lamp or like a fixture that doesn't have a light switch, which I don't think, at least in the US, I don't know that you can have a light bulb socket that doesn't have a switch on it. I don't know if you can do that. The one place that I've used, I use bulbs in a closet. I think it's only one closet. Well, I guess two, technically. Two closets. And that's because those switches stay on for other reasons. And then I can turn them on and off. So, yeah, definitely. The bulbs are nice when they have RGB stuff to them. But anytime you switch them off at the switch, your bulb's not going to work. The best way is bulb decoupled light switch, so you can have color and switch is only sending an MQTT toggle message. Yeah, that's good. If you don't power the bulb from the switch, then that's great. Yeah. But at least in the wiring in the house, the way we have it and the way I think it is in most, at least in the US, it's pretty rare, if it's even possible, to have Philips came out these days with a light switch that solves that exact problem. Really? My first apartment had a string that went all the way down the stairs to turn on before you went. Oh my gosh, that is old. As long as the switch isn't connected to a bunch of people on life support on another planet. The random disconnect of the BroadLink from the internet? Really? BroadLink remotes. Javier, I don't have a BroadLink remote. But that sure kind of sucks. I guess the other place that you could use a bulb would be like in a ceiling fan, but the same thing applies. If you switch it off, it's off and you're screwed. Okay, next question. Can you ask Frank, since upgrading OS 5, why it no longer boots from the SSD? Oh no, I have to power on the SSD at least 10 seconds after powering on the Pi. Oh no. Charles, I wish I could answer that for you, or Mitch Charles. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Frank does know, but Mitch's question is about, I'm sure, the Raspberry Pi 4 running Home Assistant, the new, or after version 5.09 of the Home Assistant operating system. It won't boot from the SSD anymore. You have to power on the SSD after powering on the Pi. So it must be something changed in the order. I don't know. That was a Rick and Morty reference. Oh, I haven't watched very much Rick and Morty. Oh, BroadLink boxes are considered remotes. Oh, it's disconnecting. Really, your BroadLink is disconnecting? I don't know. Did I do the BroadLink integration on this one? this one. Bring, bring, bring. Blade subscribed. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I don't know that BroadLink needs to connect to the internet, does it? You disconnects homes every reboot, really? Maybe when you have too many entities. A Wi-Fi problem? You silly. This one. Pro remote, mine is still connected. Let's see if it's been on. This is an old one, probably. Yeah. I love this, by the way. Remove entity. Heck yeah. Yeah, I don't have much history on it to see when it was disconnected. Sir Good Enough is not a Wi-Fi problem. That's unfortunate. My bro can't get it. Don't have the Pro, but I have the Black Bean. Really, Raspberry? You can't get the Black Bean to work? Dang. Oh, that's a bummer. I just was thinking how good these have gotten. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jose finally got to watch one. Yay! Somebody subscribed and I didn't see it. We haven't done this, so let's do this. RF plugs. Have you or anyone else had experience in getting energy RF plugs into Home Assistant? So if they're RF plugs, Jason, do you have some kind of bridge? What kind of bridge are you using? Because with RF, you definitely have to have a bridge. There's no getting them in directly to Home Assistant without, like we were talking about, some of these BroadLink devices or Sonoff RF bridge, something like that. How's the bug? So the bug, I haven't done anything with the bug, but these are my BMS devices. So I haven't played with them yet, but they are all soldered together and they are all flashed with their appropriate firmware. So I should be able to start testing this, and if it works, then I've got like 50 of these to use, and then I can start arranging my bug battery. But other than that, I haven't done it. Other than sometimes I just sit and look at it, and I'm in awe of how rust-free it is. Just love that thing. Your RM Pro drops off every 5 minutes or so. Dang, that's a bummer. I don't know why. I'm sorry, I don't know. Has anybody else reported that bug somewhere else? Sorry, guys. Oh, and what I was going to say about another thing about Mitch's question about the SSD. So another reason that I discovered to go to the Odroid over the Pi. Well, maybe not over the Pi. Pi might start back up. Let me ask you guys: if you have a Pi that's running Home Assistant and the power goes out, when the power comes back on, the Pi should boot back up, right? I would think it would. For me, with the way I've been running Home Assistant on a virtual machine, because I've had that Nook running Home Assistant for, gosh, a year and a half or so now, maybe more. When the power goes out in the house, which happened this week, when the power comes back on, it doesn't turn on, which means even though the power's back on, nothing from Home Assistant works. Garage doors don't work. Some lights don't work. A lot of stuff doesn't work. That's a problem. But what I discovered when we had this power outage this week was that when the power goes out and then comes back on, the Odroid and Home Assistant starts back up. One more reason to go to the Odroid. Yeah, we're going to have to switch that. We're going to have to change that to what is DrZzs using to run Home Assistant? Currently, that's still true. Like this, all this stuff that you see right here, this is all still running on the, it's all still running on the i3, but it's all going to switch to this, which is the blue, the Odroid blue. My Pis and Unified Network are attached to UPS feed supply. Oh, power outage. Pah. Yeah, I need to do that too. I have one. I just need to put new batteries in it. I guess it's an old one. Is there a power resume type feature on the Nook? That's a good question, Dale. I do not know. I do not know. All I know is that there's a button. I need a switch bot on the Nook. That's what I do. Typically, it's my wife. She says, the power's out. Can't open the garage door. Go turn the button. Little silver box in the closet. Reach up, push the button. Oh, no. Because I just returned all my Aquara motion sensors because they didn't work well. Oh, that's too bad. I guess most of my motion sensors that I use are wired or they're RF. Yours has an auto start. My VMs are set to auto start. Maybe there's a setting that needs changing on yours. Well, the VMs are set to auto start, but the Nook itself has a power button. Just like a PC, big tower PC. The power goes off and the power comes back on. If there's not a physical thing there, person to push the button, it doesn't come on. Nooks have a BIOS. BIOS usually have an auto power on option. Oh, okay, well, there you go. Maybe that's it. In the BIOS, set your power on. Okay, then that's what it should be. Well, there you go. Wish there was a way to have a home assistant advisor to guide one-on-one help to set things up for beginners. Yeah, Rachel, yeah. You can get a lot of little help, but this is a DIY situation still. I mean, I guess, it'd be nice if there was like a Genius bar, like Apple would have, but no, there's not. But that, you can do it, and that's a lot of the fun of it. A lot of the fun of it is figuring stuff out sometimes. It's frustrating, but if you work on something and you get close, then just ask for help on the thing you need, and there'll be somebody to help you. Almost always. All right, let's answer these other questions. Panda Boy. A UDM all-in-one with a built-in Unify controller. Can you still use Home Assistant? Oh, yeah. If you have the UDM all-in-one with built-in Unify controller, can you still use... Oh, can you still use the Home Assistant Unify controller add-on? You wouldn't need to. So I would say, no, don't. Just use the controller on the UDM. Or don't get a UDM, because UDM has the controller in it. Just get something else. Most of them are very friendly, except me. Arrgh. Thoughts on the future of powering things? I hope we don't do a lot of wireless powering, to be honest. I remember watching a video about wireless charging of devices and how inefficient it is, how much is wasted, how much energy is wasted in those things. So, they were talking about you drive your electric car in, and in your parking space, there's a charger underneath, just like we have with our phones. You don't have to actually plug in a wire. The physical act of getting out and plugging the car in is so minor. It's so minor that the energy we lose in charging for 8 hours versus spending 30 seconds plugging in the car, it really makes us look lazy. So anyways, all right, let's see. Will the doc set up a list of things to do in NodeRED so we can schedule a date for a NodeRED stream? Blade asked. Will I? Yeah. When? I don't know. I don't know when I will, but I will. At least a month out. Okay, good. So no time soon. Okay, good. What's keeping you busy for the next month, I want to know. Curious now about that. Small robot with a camera is less expensive than the inefficiency. Yeah, that's right. Isn't that funny, Photochromax? That's hysterical because, a small robot with a camera that can physically plug your car in for you so you don't have to is not going to be cheap. But that's going to be better than wasting all that energy in wireless charging. You can change timeout on the... Okay. Bots. Oh, and my stuff in bots. Well, yes, you do that stuff you got to do. Do the bot stuff. NodeRED will be here when you're ready. Oh, no worries. I like to keep it clean, but I'm not, I'm going to drop the hammer. I do appreciate them, my mods. because anyways. If anyone needs 1-to-1 help, I'm always available to help people in video chat. Oh, thanks. Creative, what's 1-to-1 help? Oh, cool. Video chat. Creative was willing to help people with video chat. That's fantastic. Thanks, man. I know there are some people sometimes that do, maybe it's Creative, maybe some others that are in sort of a live chat channel in Home Assistant, or in Discord. K-Clown says, any news on when Permatrack will arrive? The best news I got is that it landed in America, but it landed in New York instead of in California. So I don't know when it's going to arrive. We've got we're piecing together. Well, we've got the website. It's going to be a whole new website with a better web store. Or at least it's going to be like mine was, and with much better inventory tracking. And we're not going to go live with the website and taking orders until we've got it in stock. And so there are 5,000 pieces of Permatrack. So 5,000 5-foot pieces. So that is 25,000 feet. And if the average person needs maybe 200 feet on their house, we should be good for a bit. We should be able to get some people their Permatrack. And then we already put in the order just a day or two ago for another 5,000, assuming it's going to take a long time. So that's what I know about that. Nick says, can I use an analog keypad if I update my security to one of these new boards? Well, if you're using an Arduino, I know that Arduino has a way to have, I don't know if they're analog necessarily keypads, but maybe they are. They're probably just different sensors, for each of the buttons. I think what you should do is, instead of the analog, like what I have is the, basically the alarm component, the alarm panel component in Home Assistant lets you have a digital pad like this. And then the automation handles all that stuff. So the automation handles the code, and if you put the right code in, what happens? If you don't put the code in, what happens? All that stuff's handled in Home Assistant. And all that the Arduino that I've been playing with, all that does is manage the state, basically, of the switches. And then, in that case, the relays with the thermostats. But as far as the alarm goes, all the Arduino does is manage the states and give Home Assistant the states. And then Home Assistant can do all kinds of stuff with it. And this is a pretty good way to do the code thing, if that's what you're asking about. The Alarminator. Let's see. At this point, what are my favorite motion sensors? I'll show you. These. If I recall, this is AM23. Is this AM2301 or AM231, something like that? No, maybe that's not right. Ambient light tracking, no. Oh man, is it 321? Nah. It's not these big ones. It's the little guys. It's the little guys. It's the little guys. See, I was pretty close. I said 321 or 231. It's the 312. So these work really well, and they are wired. So you have to have them connected to something with a battery. Now, beyond that, right? Because your question's probably not what's your favorite wired sensor. What's your favorite wired motion sensor was not what you were asking. You were asking what is my favorite wireless motion sensor. I've had good luck with the RF ones. There's a little bit of a delay, but it's not too bad. They're big and ugly, but they're cheap. But I've had one in my garage now for over 2 years that's running on the same 2 AA batteries. Oh, and we've had one in the bathroom. The boys' bathroom here works on one too, which is really nice because the bathroom that I use up here, we call it the boys' room, the boys' bathroom, because it's me and the boys' bedroom is here, and they use that bathroom, and then the girls have their own bathroom in their bedroom. When we walk in the door, the motion sensor, about the same time it sees you and triggers, gets to Home Assistant and gets back to the bathroom, it turns on the light in the little toilet/shower room. So there's a little bit of a delay, maybe a couple seconds. But it's been reliable, and it uses little bitty batteries, and I love it. I love it. You want a link for those AM312s from Amazon? I probably have them in my, let's see if I have them in here. If not, I'm sure, let's look and see if I've got them in my Amazon shop. We'll see if I've got them here. It's probably would be, if I have them, they're going to be in here. If they're not, we need to put them in here. No, I don't think we do. I don't think we have them in here. Well, then let's fix that. AM312. These. Might as well go with the cheap ones. 6 of them for $11. That's not too bad. Come on. And these, when you hook these up to, you didn't see them in the products? Okay, thank you very much, Sir Goodenough. Man. Again, just tell me what you want. I mean, besides $1 million, and I'll send it to you. The Aquara PIR works pretty well. I would expect that they would work. I just don't. And I have them around the house. I don't rely on them. And so that's probably why I don't notice how well they're working. I know that one of them, I think it's the Sonoff one. One of them it keeps reading dead battery. And I've changed the battery and it still reads dead battery. Like I get a warning all the time in Home Assistant that the battery's dead. And I replace it and it still says the battery's dead. So now we're going to add these to my list of a few of my favorite things. Okay. Ordering some now. Oh, good. These work. So the reason that these are my favorites over the bigger ones, one, they just plain work. Those bigger ones, like if you just, when I searched for those Arduino PIR sensors and it came back with the big ones, these have like adjustments you can make on them and stuff. But what I noticed, or what I found with these, was I got a lot of interference, just a lot of false positives, false negatives and stuff. And it had to do, turns out, with the ESP32, or sorry, ESP8266 or whatever, and the Wi-Fi and the radio stuff interfering. So these don't work so well. I've tried these too, and these also did not work so well. But those, the 312s, they work beautifully. The AM312s work a charm. Any idea when more DrZzs will be back in stock again? Next week. DrZzs will be arriving next week. They're also the microwave motion sensors. Yep. And I've played with those, and those are almost too sensitive because like they'll go through a wall and stuff. Yeah. So if you want to know if somebody's in a room, those are a little bit too sensitive, maybe. But for something like, you want to detect, for security or something like that, then those probably are really, really good. Okay, I think that's it. What do you guys think? Permatrack. Have you considered making a version where the LEDs mount to the side of the track rather than the bottom? Yeah, we have that, Robert. Could be helpful for keeping the LEDs away from condensation and water. Yeah, we have that. We have that. Right now, if you look at DrZz's site, in Permatrack, and this is similar to how the ordering process will look. It'll look like this, more or less. But we have bottom holes and we have side holes. And if you look over here at these pictures, there's the side hole version. There's the bottom hole version. More pictures. Side hole version. Bottom hole version. And then here's some with some lights in it. Side hole lights. Bottom hole lights. And this is how it'll look. It'll be like this, where you can do bottom holes, colors. But by far, this white with holes on the bottom has been the most popular. So we have way, way more of that coming than anything else. Oh, what happened to Chris? That's the worst. Hey, Thomas, how you doing? Need to start entering those streams in my calendar. Or set up a notification. You can set up a Twitch, and somebody was actually saying that the YouTube component now is working pretty well. So they set up a YouTube sensor, basically. And when I go live on YouTube, or probably if I post a video, you get a notification. But yeah, in what I use is Twitch. The Twitch sensor for Home Assistant is pretty good for letting you know when somebody's live. If I only had some sort of automation system, if I could only think of some way to make that work. Too bad. Worm? No. And we don't have any with holes on the top either. Sorry. All right. Let's end off with something I am extremely proud of. You ready? Here it comes. I am extremely proud of this. It took me a whole lot of digging around in the attic, but here it is, boys and girls, or mostly just boys, probably. This is my BroadLink full-on wired NVR, with the exception of this camera here, which is a camera that's out in a tree in the front yard. Every camera you see now is wired. And I have, oh no, I'm sorry. There's one more that's not. The one that points at the kitchen. This one is also Wi-Fi. So this is the one Wi-Fi one. This is a pan, tilt, zoom one though. So this one I can actually move around if I want to. I could actually even turn it all the way so I can see the front door a little bit. Yeah, see down into the basement a little bit. Pretty cool, huh? I like using it to see the kitchen. Anyways, yeah, got it. Got my, I call it my full wired, but very proud of this. So I haven't, the verdict is still out on whether or not my Wi-Fi congestion troubles are resolved yet. I don't know. But because I just finished this with the last few cameras in this week. But I spent a lot of time in the attic. I spent a lot of time pulling new Ethernet cables. I spent a lot of time crimping new Ethernet, ends on stuff. And I even used like some of these cameras like this one. This is Zoe and her friends are watching a movie, or I guess it's Zoe and the little girls are watching a movie in the basement, it looks like. And this camera and this camera are actually using wires that are in the walls. So I took an Ethernet cable from the camera to a plug in the wall, Ethernet jack. Actually, what I used was the old phone wiring, but they actually put in an Ethernet wire. So it was a Cat 5 wire. So I had, or a cable, so that I had 8 wires. And then I could take those wires, and they go back to the mechanical room. And then in the mechanical room, I connected them to another Ethernet that branch, basically, that comes up to the office here. And then from this one, I plug them into the NVR. So it goes NVR, Ethernet cable to the wall, Ethernet cable in the wall to the mechanical room, Ethernet cable from the mechanical room through the wall to the jack, and then Ethernet cable from the jack to the camera. It's PoE. Isn't that crazy? You love my Blue Ranger? I love my Blue Ranger. Love that baby. It's nice. It's nice. And the RV. And these are the solar panels for Aidendale. So I still need to put one here that would be a doorbell pointing out to the front, but I got them all done. Got them all done. Is that a box of Permatrack? Nope. Where are your Wi-Fi cameras on VIF? So right now, I mean, none of the cameras, this one is on VIF, this one is not. But none of my cameras right now are I mean, really, with the exception of these two, none of these cameras are Wi-Fi. So I don't have any Wi-Fi cameras anymore. The downside here is I don't know if the ReoLink, even the development version of the ReoLink integration is going to work. The custom integration for ReoLink, I don't know if it's going to work. I liked Blue Iris a lot. I really did like Blue Iris a lot. And if I could have, if I could have had a dedicated PC plus Blue Iris, there's Blue Iris. I would never say anything bad about it. It's been great. The difference here was, like I talked about last week with Rob, getting one of these NVRs like this, at least ReoLink, this NVR has been really good. And the app on the phone is really good and all that. So I can't speak about other NVRs. Actually, I can. I know I tested one once somebody sent me, and it was total junk. I hated it. So I sold it. I got rid of it. I sold it for like $50 to somebody. And I told them, no, I'm not going to make a video about it. But this ReoLink NVR has been really good. I'm really happy with it. So I can definitely recommend it for PoE cameras and stuff. It's been really nice. So I have a dedicated PC for Blue Iris and virtual machines running 13 C800s. Nice. I want to take one of those face recognition, or object recognition cameras and make a doorbell out of it. Stick it right there instead of the ring and make a doorbell out of it. There's an old treadmill. Anybody want my old treadmill parts? But these cameras look really nice. And they're either 4 or 5 megapixel. Every one of them is 4 or 5 megapixel. Well, not this one and this one, but all the rest of them are 4 and 5 megapixel cameras. Very proud. Very happy about that. Unify has a doorbell now that has people detection. Ooh. Well, I would really like it to get into ReoLink. So the one downside about having these branded NVRs is that maybe not in every case, but certainly they want you to use their cameras, right? That's probably part of why the NVRs are so cheap, is because they want you to buy their cameras as well. So you got an EasyViz NVR. It sucks. Connecting Wi-Fi cameras to it bypasses my DHCP scope and even DHCP reservations for the cameras. I'm sorry, man. That does suck. ReoLink requires their NVR for ReoLink 4K cameras. That's right. They do have, there are other cameras you can use without their NVR, but for most of it, it does. It does kind of suck. Yeah, it does. But those cameras are like $30, right? Those 4K cameras that ReoLink sells for their NVR, they're certainly less than 30. Or sorry, less than 40. They're 30 something. Because that's why I have like 4 of those as part of this NVR. Which NVR is it? It's the ReoLink. It's the ReoLink 16 camera. It's this one. It's this one right here. They're out of stock. I wouldn't do the 8. I'm really glad I have the 16. I only have like a couple. I think I have 3 empty spots in the back. And that's just because 2 of those are Wi-Fi cameras that are still in the NVR or in the app. So I still have space to plug in, I think, 3 more cameras in the back of it. Surveillance station with Synology NAS handles most ReoLink cameras. I'm sure, most ReoLink cameras will work with other NVRs. It's just some of them will not. And Rob did a really good video about it. So check out Rob's video about it. I want this. Ooh, do you guys want to see Aidendale? You want to see let's look at Aidendale for a minute. So we went up to Aidendale yesterday. Oh my gosh, all my stuff just went away. We went up to Aidendale yesterday and went sledding. I'm going to make a video about it. We went up to Aidendale yesterday, and oh no, what time? Maybe the timing's off. Oh no, here it is. 5:30 a.m. was the last time. Oh, did I do it backwards? I did it from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Are you kidding? Oh no. Oh, that sucks. That means it's going to send me a picture every day, like at night. Oh, man. Anyways, this is a picture. So we set a hunting camera up there and to take pictures, and it emails me the pictures. Oh, but I think I said it wrong. Are you kidding? Because it sent me pictures all through the night, and I didn't want it to send me pictures at night. I wanted it to send me pictures in the daytime. And now it looks like it's not sending me pictures in the daytime. Oh, here's one from 6:30 a.m. Oh, still dark. 7:30. Okay, sun's coming up. No, maybe it's going to be okay. Maybe it's a time zone thing. Anyways, this knoll right here is where the hobbit hole is going to be. So it looks like that was just as the sun was coming up this morning. And then I haven't gotten one since 7:30 this morning. Crap. Oh, I must have put it backwards. Oh my gosh, what an idiot. What an idiot. Dang it. Oh well. Anyways, I want one of these for that. I want to put this up there. But we'll see. All right, I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap. Let's get the kids up for sign off. What do you say? Is it possible to set via text and SMS? Maybe. I might be able to contact the camera and reprogram it and change it from here. Do I ever feel uneasy that you're almost always on camera in your own home? I don't. I got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. Dang. Oh well. Okay, let's do it. Sign off so I can take a nap. It's 4:30. Okay, it must have worked because I hear pitter patters. Did it work? It worked. Is it just in your room? It worked everywhere? Okay, good.
Because the girls, they're watching Harry Potter, so if they come up, it'll work.
Camera images are not going anywhere, so why would you? Stampede!
Yeah.
I always wear pants.
Oh.
Hey, sweet girl.
Oh, gosh.
What's the matter? You okay?
I ran from the basement.
Zoe got third place yesterday. Her gymnastics meet. Got a medal.
Still playing.
Oh, still playing Harry Potter? We're having a Harry Potter time. Okay. How are we going to sign off tonight, girls and boys?
Like Harry Potter.
Signing off like Harry Potter.
Hermione.
Like Hermione.
Like
Okay.
Hermione.
We're signing off like Hermione today.
Hermione Granger.
Yeah, we already did it. We did it last time.
It's probably a time zone
Granger.
thing. You're totally right. I bet you I didn't set the time zone.
We're doing Hermione Granger.
We did somebody from Harry Potter last time.
We did Hagrid.
Now we gotta do somebody from... Yeah, we did. Dad did Hagrid. You did. We just did people from Harry Potter.
Hermione Granger time. Ready?
Hermione.
Everyone. I don't know how to sound like Hermione.
As always.
As always.
Thanks
Thanks
for watching. Until next time, adios. With God in Leviosa.
It's adios, not adios.
It's adiosa, not adiosa.
Okay, have a good day, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.